Yeah, second one. One second. Everybody get a chance to log in. Hope everybody doing all right today. So we got, let's see. All right, we got a couple minutes. If you like what we're doing, thumbs up, man. If you don't like what's going on, I'm not here to debate with no one. So I hope everyone understand that. It would be none of that. It would be, please go to my YouTube page, Empress Islam. Please come to my YouTube page, Empress, so we can get everybody on our YouTube page. You can still stay on there, but we would please like to go on our YouTube page because I want everything to be done on my YouTube page from here on out. But I'm not here to debate anyone, no one's religion. I can care less of someone's religion. Islam. Your religion means nothing to me. I'm not here to debate nobody's religion. That's not my purpose. Islam. But that's not my purpose. So we must understand that. Please go on my YouTube page, James. YouTube page, Noble. I'm going on here because I'm trying to get us to go, everybody go on my YouTube page. But if you want to be on IG page, that's fine. But eventually, I'm not going to be doing nothing on here. I'm trying to direct all the traffic to the YouTube page. For we can be on there, for all of us can be on there, because the minute we're going to have our web page, I'm telling you, we just getting started, Morris. We're not even scratching the surface yet. We're just getting things started. And every good thing starts somewhere. But as I was saying, I'm not here for nobody's religious debate. We're going to deal with history and scholarship. Oh, I forgot. I'm sorry, y'all. I knew it was something I was echoing. Please go to my YouTube page. Like I told brothers, I'm not here for no debates. Everybody's welcome to come on my page. But the first thing, can you hear me, that Empress? But the first thing when they get into this religious debate, I would just easily block you for life. And that'd be it. And there's no disrespect to no one. Because I wouldn't be somewhere, I'm not wanted. And I wouldn't be, he said Islam, Empress.
Islam.
And I wouldn't be on nobody's page that's arguing with them. I would politely go away.
You need all this?
No, I don't need all that. I'll politely go away. So I'm not here for nobody debate. I'm not here for nobody religious debate. Please understand that. I'm giving everybody a warning and from love. You will be blocked for life. I guarantee that.
They can hear you better with the...
Yeah, and I can hear myself better. Because after I record it, it's no echoing and things. Can you come sit this right up here, my love? Yeah, right there.
Good.
Yeah, I'm good. Can everybody hear all right? I know you can, because I can hear. It just actually, when I play it back on, when I go back and listen to it on YouTube, it's just a little clearer, and it's not a whole bunch of background noise. Islam Moore. Hey, Noble, please come to my YouTube page. Come to my YouTube page. Peace, Moore. Go to my YouTube page. We're trying to get that algorithm up on my YouTube page, Moors. So come to my YouTube page. Islam. And never be afraid to give a donation, man. That's why I tell us, it's okay. It won't hurt us. Because if you was here in Arizona and we had the temple, you would give a donation. Just like if we go to the movies, and it's just courtesy, man. It's just given to our body. That's all. Moors, and if y'all want literature, let's keep this going. Y'all at home, you should be always like, hey man, I need this. Let's do this. Get more research. But once again, I'm not here for nobody religious debate. I'm not here for nobody connotated, arbitrary, religious, dogmatic view of things. I'm here strictly as a scientist and a scholar and a Moor and an adept. So just to make that clear, I understand your religion. And if your religion, whatever your religion is, have made you a better man or made you a better woman and made your household good, great. All praise is due to God. All praise is due to Allah. But one thing I know, that I'm a Moorish American. I know my nationality and my spirituality. And I stand strong on those principles, especially in law. And for any Negro, black, and color, or Mexican, or Latino, or whatever misnomer you want to give yourself, if you choose not to identify as a Moor, that's on you. And I'm not gonna get into a debate with somebody that choose to not have a nationality. That's your choice. I'm cool with that, but I'm not gonna do business with you, and that's my choice. I won't do business with you. I guarantee you that. Especially of an individual. I'm like, well, what's the purpose of a man? So I want that to be clear. I want that to be clear off top. So I'll give me some vitamin C, y'all. I just want to clear a couple things. Hey, Morris, I'm transparent. If we want to give statements and just for clarity, fine. But I'm definitely not here to get debate with somebody that think they know something, especially when it comes down to history and law, and international law, and local law, and state and federal law. Because there's no other way to learn the law but studying the law. Man, I told y'all I'm gonna always be transparent with y'all, didn't I? A brother hit me up today when I was demonstrating, showing brothers that 1010 number is not no trust. He was like, so you telling me, he like, so you telling me it ain't no trust put up for Moors? And that kind of hurt my heart. Because if the nonsense that brothers think, this man was sincere. This man wasn't coming, he wasn't trying to, this man wasn't joking. This man was dead serious. This man was asking a straight up question. He was like, so you telling me it ain't no trust put up for the Moors? I'm like, what trust, brother? And this brother was sincere. And I know he was sincere because I can feel this. I felt his vibration on the question. He didn't know. So wherever he was getting that information from, that's what he was being programmed. And that's what a lot of Moors think. And that's messed up, man. I got to get juiced up because I got a lot to say. My emperor over there laughing.
But do y'all understand what I'm saying, y'all? Do y'all understand what I'm saying? I know the brother was sincere. The brother wasn't coming in no disrespectful way. After I'm showing him, he like the 1010, what? And I'm showing him demonstrating. I said, man, the CCRD, they ain't nothing but the custodian of the records. You can get that for a fee. I lectured on how the temple was set up plenty of times. I lecture how the temple was set up plenty of times, y'all. And that's the part that hurts me. And I said, y'all should be just as hurt as I am. And I'll be just as hurt as a teacher that all this falseness out here, when the real deal comes and show you something, when he give you information, when he give you valid proof that you can stand strong on. We've been so messed up mentally, collectively, it'd be overwhelming. And that's the thing of it. The only people that's gonna clean this up is us, man. It can't just be me. That's why I created the School of the Body. I'm like, man, we can do this, man. We can have a real physical temple. This can be the base, and we can take this model all over, legal and lawfully. And we can have our land out here. I'm telling y'all, I don't do business with everyone, and you should want to do business with anyone. You should not want to, because all money ain't good. You should want to do business with a person that's righteous, that's experienced, that has something to offer as well. That ain't out here just collecting things from nobody. That's a real teacher and a real scholar that can teach our babies, that has experience in community development. I'm telling y'all, we can really do something legally and lawfully. All we got to do is come together under one nationality, one culture. That's our organization. The religious laws protect us. This is the beauty of America. This is the beauty and the dynamics of America. I wouldn't want to be nowhere else or be nobody else but a Moorish American. And for a Negro, black, or color, or a Latino or a Mexican misnomer, the first thing they come out their mouth is to say, I'm not a Moorish American. That is, I don't even have, you see, I don't even have words. I'm just lost for words when the person to say that. Because how can you say you a historian and love yourself and your children, and the first thing come out your mouth is you're not a Moorish American? You definitely don't know history. No way possible. And that's the brainwash. That's the miseducation of the Negro. That's that pseudo academia. I show y'all. I don't know what book you reading from, because the powers that be and the royal houses with their royal libraries and their national archives, they study where I study from. Point blank. And any scholar should tell you that, but they ain't coming from no scholarship. So let's get into this Moorish American prayer and let's teach. Islam Moors? So first I'm gonna start off with the warning from our prophet. Then I'm gonna break a little bit of the 101 keys down. And then we just gonna teach synchronicity, because I can teach all day. I got so much to teach: history, law, civics, current events, everything, man. I got a whole curriculum for babies, everything, elementary, everything, man. Me and my mom put a curriculum together. It's called the No Kid Left Behind, the Kids First program, where we teach them everything. And then I come in and teach them history and everything. We teach them athletics, everything. Our children be great, all children. But the prophet warned all Muslims, governors, ordered to read the proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical, agitating speeches while at work, in their homes or in the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequences. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And my 2 cents Moors, health and wealth. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card, buttons, cease wearing their fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Jew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out divine pleas to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet, through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By the order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, our Moorish American prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. So, just some basics. I hope Moors know it's just some things that keep you, how can I say it, our lower self in check. When I talk about the one-on-ones, those are training wheel things. Like, who made you? Allah. Who is Allah? Allah is the Father of the universe. Can we see Allah? This is question 3. No. Where's the nearest place we meet him? In the heart. Who is Noble Drew Ali? He is Allah's prophet. So when we say prophet, man, y'all got to remember, it's prophets in all dispensation. It's never going to be a last prophet or a Messiah, man. I'm not giving y'all no mysticism, no spookism. If Allah, which is God, and if God works through man, it's going to always be God, man, in different dispensations to teach that ancient message. That's what we got to understand, Moors. But they made us not look like our brothers as God. And how can you say you love God that you never seen, but hate man that you see every day? That don't make sense. And God works through man. That's why we say judge the spirit. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. Hey, Empress, can you turn that dryer off? Did y'all hear what I just said, Moors? When a person be getting y'all all twisted like it's some God or nothing, listen clearly when I say this is our 101 keys. What is a prophet? A prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. Right, Moors? Manifested in the flesh. So why would you let somebody tell you some other when somebody say, oh, he told you he is a God? No, a prophet is a thought of Allah manifested in the flesh. That's why I said God works through man. That's why he say, how can a man say he love God he never seen, but hates man that he see every day? And you see your God, man, and your brother, and we try to belittle them to some Mason instead of a comedic scientist, instead of be like, hey, this is our brother that can take us to the next level. The promised land is just having our own. In this context, we in the flesh. What is the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. Not to hustle and scheme nobody. I'm here to educate us, man. We paying for some whack education somewhere else. And I said, I can give you a way better history education. I can give your babies a way better education, guaranteed. And the education I give them, they can take my education to the schools and still graduate with honors and not even come disrespectfully. I show them how to deliver their research from love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it will be welcome. Why? Because it will be peer-reviewed scholarly research. I show them how to reference it and quote it the right way where nobody can refute it. Guaranteed. You can't tell me no different. You can't tell me no different when it comes to scholarship. And when it comes to westernized and Eastern thought process and pseudo academia, you can't tell me no different. How I know? Because I was in the belly of the beast. That's how I know. I didn't go to college just to get some A. I went to college to show where I was in all the history books. That was my mission. Who was the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America? Our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. He didn't say he originated the science. He said he was resurrecting us, bringing something back to our remembrance. He said he gathered and divinely prepared. What year was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? 1913 AD. Where? New York, New Jersey. Where was Noble Drew Ali born? North Carolina, 1886. What is his nationality? Moorish American. What's your nationality? Moorish American. Why are we Moorish Americans? Excuse me. Why are we Moorish Americans? Because we are descendants of Moroccans and born in America. For what purpose was the Moorish Science Temple of America founded? For the uplifting of fallen humanity. It didn't say for the hustling of fallen humanity. It didn't say for the robbing of brothers. It says the uplifting of fallen humanity. Fallen humanity. How did the prophet begin to uplift the Moorish Americans? By teaching them to be themselves. What is our religion? Islamism. Is this a new or is this an old time religion? We know it's old. What kind of flag is Moor's flag? It's the red flag with a 5-pointed green star in the center. What do the 5 points represent? Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. How old is this flag? When the sign was brought, it was over 50,000 years old. Which is the holy day? Friday. Why? Because Friday is the day on which man was formed in the flesh. And it was on Friday when he departed out of the flesh. Who was Jesus? He was a prophet of Allah. So let's start right there. If you study your science, why would any more anything, and I say that picture that you posted, that ain't no Jesus or none of that, if you understand science. So why would a more that say he operating on love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice start confusing people when in our 101s, when a person asks you who is Jesus, and our teachers tell us he was a prophet of Allah. So if Jesus was a prophet of Allah, and you talk about you some more, or some Islam Muslim, what's your plight with Jesus or Yahshua? I'll wait. I'll wait, y'all. Come on, now let's ask some questions. I'll wait. And I want to see how a person gonna answer that. So let's see, do anybody got an answer to that? Come on, more. Let's have some little dialogue on that. The floor is open. The floor is open on that simple science where we should automatically clean our house up and stop just posting things or saying things. Be like, wait a minute, like this don't even make sense. Like this don't even make sense. I don't care if you what type of Muslim you are. You say you believe in Allah, there you go. You say you believe in Allah and Jesus, but then we got to remember, y'all. Now remember, I showed y'all when we talk about teachers. Remember, it's just the name. Remember, it was the Nebuchadnezzar in the Hebrew dialect. So the Nazarite text, when we start reading things, just like for instance, when I tell Moors, you got to remember the eso and the exoteric story, because from our nationality and from our paperwork, we are from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. That's biblical. So the point what I'm trying to make, when we get lost by the names and we get caught up in this English or this gibberish language, and we get lost off the breadcrumbs when the first thing we'll say is something fake. And when I say I understand that aspect. But when we talk about connecting ourselves, when we talk about the Carthaginians and the Phoenicians and that bloodline, Ruth, Tamara, all those people, when we say we connecting ourselves to the mothers and fathers of civilization, who y'all think we talking about? So we understand the SO and the XO, but in the context of what I'm saying, if a person gonna tell a story, the story is about you. I showed y'all in all the history, when I showed y'all some of the missing pieces yesterday, when I said, man, all the history, all in Europe, they talking about you. A lot of these brothers stuck in Egypt. I say, I hear you, but you're missing the point of what I'm showing you. All in Europe, who you were, Moors in Europe. That's the whole plight of what the part what we missing. That's why in the text it said, who was Jesus or Yahshua? He was a prophet of Allah. So if they're going to tell a story, I hope we are synchronizing things. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I'm like, okay, well, if we want to believe in some Muhammad and we say Muhammad is a prophet of Allah, and then right here in our teaching, they said who was Jesus, and he said he was a prophet of Allah. Well, what am I saying? I know we're not studying our Moorish Quran. That's why I say, brothers, let's remove our lower self of ego and let's study these teachings. Let's study the Quran, because I got all the books for you can understand the Quran. Yeah. I broke that. I gave you the science yesterday. Yes, the first Britons were Moors. I gave you all the science yesterday when I lectured. All the stuff in the museums. Even Europeans testify it. David Macarici, when he talked about the ancient and modern Britons, I demonstrated that all yesterday. Even St. Maurice, when I show you that they were Moors, man, even in Egypt. Moors, Constantinople, Moors, the Vikings, Moors, all in the museums. Not just no mystery stuff. I showed it so many times when I had my book for the museum with St. Mark, and right in Egypt, it say the Tetrarch, the Moors in Egypt. The Tetrarch, the Moors in Egypt. I demonstrate this all the time. My book, St. Mark. I say a lot of stuff is locked up in Europe, in museums. And a lot of Moors that say they're scholars, I say, I hear you. But if you're a real scholar, you should have connections like I do to pull these facts out. Because a lot of stuff is in the museums and personal libraries of Europeans and professors. I know a lot of them. They've written books. Where y'all think I'm getting all this science from, man? I keep telling y'all, they study from a different book. What? The Truth, prehistory, the National Archives, the Royal Libraries. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling you a fact. They had ancient writers that wrote of things. What names was y'all thinking I was dropping down before I even started my lecture? I dropped down 8 European writers that testified to exactly what I'm saying back in those times. That's why I'm saying this scholarship, and a lot of times it'd be baffling to Moors because they just listen to a person and we're not being educated. And that's why I'm saying when a brother bring you educated in science, we got to rock with that, man. So let's finish. Where was he born? In Bethlehem of Judah, in the house of David. What do our paperwork say? We're from the tribe of Judah, lineage of David by blood. If we say we Moors, who were his first father and mother, Joseph and Mary. I keep telling y'all, they'd be giving you another story. If it was a thing called whitewashing of history, which I can show you so many times, I told you I got a book named Russian Icona by Vladimir Ivanhoff. It show you all type of stuff. And then you can go in the book of Maccabees where it says the Gentile, the heathen, tried to whitewash themselves in the history books. Real talk. So, and then 27, will you give in brief the lineage or the line genealogy through which Jesus or Yahshua came? Some of the great fathers through which Jesus, which is Yahshua, came: Abraham, Boaz by Ruth. And then you see Moors write books talk about Ruth the Moabitess. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. If you talk about Ruth the Moabitess, well, you think Ruth just magically came in some other text? You think this ain't the same Ruth that's all through textures? Because Moors don't have the holy books. They just be talking. I say, man, I got it. Not me. I have a library. Put it like that. Because I want to stop saying me. This is available for all y'all. But I have a library in my access. Most of the missing books that connect the science. But how can Moors write about Ruth the Moabitess? And I'm saying, man, you know what you're talking about. So you're just going to erase your whole lineage. That don't make sense. So Ruth, Jesse, King David, Solomon, Hezekiah, Joseph by Mary. I told y'all I can use the Bible and prove that the Asiatic man is the father of the universe. If they want to tell that story, I've done it plenty times. I've done it on the college campus. If they want to use that Bible, I say I'll use your Bible and prove that the Asiatic man is the father of the world, of civilization. I did it on the college campus with all professors. Got a standing ovation. That was part of my dissertation. That was part of my oral dissertation, Morris. So it is what it is. But 28, why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? To save the Israelites from the iron hand of oppression of the pale-skinned nations of earth who were governing a portion of the Palestine at that time. So when we talk about all different Moors over the world, when I was showing you in Thomas Jefferson Quran, at one point they call you a Kosovar Moor, and then at one point they call you a Berber Moor. They telling you the same, they talking about the same people. When I say the Israelites are the Moors, they just letting us set trip on each other, and we forgetting that blood. I keep telling y'all, it's the blood. One nationality, many cultures. No one is stripping anybody in that culture. But this is the United of Asia. It's one nationality and many cultures. No one is stripping nobody from their culture. And we must understand that science and start synchronizing things. And then you'll understand that you're not no minority. You are the majority. You will understand the science. You will understand the linguistics. You will understand the etymology and the trick bag. But why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? Now, remember, listen to what I'm saying. Why did Allah send Jesus to the earth? Jesus, which is Yahshua, to save the Israelites. So remember what I said, what a Messiah is. What did I say a Messiah is, Empress? A Messiah is a prophet amongst the people. Your Messiah is going to come from your own home. How can somebody be a voice for the great God of Allah and it ain't going to be somebody amongst them? Or here it is, we all look a certain way and we all rocking with something, and somebody just going to come in our village and talk about they the Messiah. That don't make sense. That's how we got this European Caesar Borgia Serapis Christos in our head. That don't even make sense. When I say, listen, brothers, are y'all listening to me? We're all brothers. Y'all got to remember it. In the continent of Akibalan of Mexico, whatever you want to call it, man, that's huge. You got many brothers, but we all one. They done made us tribal war on us, and we set tripping like we Crips and Bloods. They separated us. They did that census thing. That's a trick bag. We're bigger than that. We're the copper-colored races. I'm telling y'all, one nationality and many cultures. I promise you, when they divide you, that's conquer. And then they can put you in a category as minorities. I'm trying to tell you. I come from no bias place. I come to synchronize this science. I'm an educator. I done been in the belly of I done been in the fire. I done been in the fire. So y'all listening to the science and the synchronicity of what I'm trying to display in this on this demonstration, Morris? Islam? Why did Allah send Jesus to this earth? Just like if we say Noble Drew Ali is the prophet of the people in the flesh. So what did Allah send Noble Drew Ali here for? The same thing he did for Jesus per se. To save who? The misnomer, Negro, black, and color. To bring us back what? Our nationality and our spirituality. To show us in the laws of freedom. To take us out of that 3/5 clause. To put us in a complete 5 of a 5th. The same science. See, we missing the science and we getting caught up in the religion. We missing the science, Morris. We should not miss the science. We should not miss the science of what I'm displaying. We should be bigger than all that bickering. It's the science. It's a prophet of all generations. A Messiah comes from the voice of the people. That's why they got us looking at some pie in the sky and your brother be right in front of you and you don't even recognize it. Like, I'm gonna give you an analogy what my dad used to tell me a long time ago. And it's just an analogy. When a guy was lost at sea. I'm sure we all heard this before. When he was like, hey, he was lost in sea and guys would ride past in a party boat and he was like, hey, they were like, hey dude, get in. He was like, nah, man, y'all party, I'm waiting for God to save me. Boom. Then some other people, a family come by in they boat. They like, hey dude, get in. He like, you only got enough room, I'll wait for God to come by. A big, what you call it? A sailboat come by, one of them cruise ships. He don't get on that. Helicopter come, drop the ladder, he don't get on that. He starts sinking, and then all of a sudden he died. And in his spirit, he say, you know, Allah, God, why you didn't save me? He was like, I did save you. All those times, that was me. He like, all those times, that was me. He like, you looking for some magical boo-boo. He like, you on this earth plane, man. I work through man. I work through man. I work through the righteous man. And that's what, everywhere Allah is there. The only place we see Allah is in the heart. We missing the magic and we missing the essence of Allah, looking for some miracle. And Allah be right in your face. Are y'all listening to this science, what I'm displaying? Are y'all listening to this science, what I'm displaying? You gotta feel what I'm saying, man. This is no joke. So I hope we understand that science, what I just said. So if the great God Allah sent Jesus to save the Israelites, if the great God Allah sent Noble Drew Ali in this time, if the great God Allah sent Abdul Hamid Solomon, if the great God Allah sent Deuce Muhammad, if the great God Allah sent Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad, if the great God Allah sent Brother Malcolm, sent Sweet Red and turned him into Malcolm X and made him a mighty man, if Allah made Malcolm X, if the great God Allah made all these powerful men, the voice of the people. Man, I can go on and on. Amos Wilson, Sheikh Anna Diop, Ivan Van Sertima, Francis Krause Wilson. I mean, are we tripping? You see how we so minuscule without judgmental? And if we just check our ego, we'll be like, man, we had great mighty men and we have them in the flesh. That's going to do what? Take this torch and take us to the next level. That's what this is about. What was the nationality of Ruth? Ruth was a Moabitess. What is the modern name for the Moabites? Moroccans. Where is the modern empire? Northwest Amexima. What is the modern name for Amexima? Africa. What is the title given to our ruler in Morocco? E-Sultan. Where did we get the name Jesus? From the West. What does Jesus mean? Jesus means justice. Did the angel give the child that was called Jesus a holy name? Yes, but it couldn't be used by those who are slaves to sin because you would deny it. What is an angel? Listen to this. Now, when people be talking about this magical stuff, watch this. This is our 101s. This is simple. This is elementary. How can my empress and my mother and my father repeat this and these Moors talk about they in temples and I say, man, the divine is first, everything else. Once you correct yourself, then you can correct the other stuff. What is an angel? This is what you should listen clearly. An angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. So here he is. We talk about an angel and the prophet is the same thing. Are y'all clear what I'm telling y'all? An angel is a thought of Allah manifested in human flesh. What are angels used for? To carry messages to the four corners of the world, to all nations. Or you think some angels in some sky with some stupid wings? That's what you think an angel is, Morris? What is our prophet to us? He is an angel of Allah who is sent to bring us the everlasting gospel of Allah. The same delivery that every Messiah comes in every dispensation to bring the message to Allah for people, for Allah's people, Morris. What is the everlasting gospel? It is a saving power that comes from Allah through our ancient father by his prophet, Morris. What is a covenant of the great God Allah? Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be longer upon the earth, land which to the Lord thy God Allah hath given thee. At what age did Jesus, which is Yahshua, begin to teach? At 12. Where did he teach? India, Africa, and Europe. If we're going to tell the story, how long did he teach? 18 years. This is the, I mean, come on. They talk about the 18 missing years. We should have it if we Moors. We should have it. Y'all know that. Why did so-called Jesus say that that would make you free? He said the truth will make you free, right? If we can take anything good, he said the truth will make you free. What is the truth? Truth is art. And what is art? Art is Allah. And can truth change, Morris? Truth cannot change or pass away, Morris. Truth can never pass. What other name do we give truth? We give truth the holy breath. So when I come and deliver something, I'm coming with a holy breath. I'm not coming to play when I teach this science. I'm not coming to chit chat. I'm not coming to be friends and have a pissing contest with brothers. I'm coming with a holy breath of Allah. And nobody don't have to accept it. It's a gift. And I'm going to keep it pushing. What have you to say about the holy breath? All we can say is it is great. It is good. It was, it is, and evermore to be. Amen. At what place on earth was the physical part of man formed? In the Garden of Eden. That's Asia, Moors. Where is the Garden of Eden? In the land of Canaan, in the city of Mecca. What is the modern name for the Garden of Eden? We know that's Mecca. What is the name of the first physical man? Right? His name cannot be used only by executive rulers. I told y'all when I give holy names, I'll be giving y'all holy names. When I talk about Elohim, when I say man made in the image of Elohim. See, a lot of these Moors that talk about they sheiks, the true essence of Moorish science, understanding that God is man is one. And when I come with the text, when I come with the metaphysics, when I talk about Ayah, Asha, Ayah, when I show you all the charts, when I show you all the skull, the body, and when I show you everything they talking about in the scriptures is how your physical tabernacle is built. When I show y'all my IDMR text, volume 1 and 2, when I keep telling y'all, those are things they're going to keep away from y'all. But when I show y'all everything synchronized man to Allah or to God or to Yahweh or to Elohim, when I say man made in the image of Elohim, I can take everything in the Bible. They talk about a tabernacle built without hands and show you they talk about everything in your physical body, from the veins to the pillars to everything, man. From the chalice, everything. From the seraphim to the cherubim, everything. Especially when they talk about some scary Baphomet, I'll show you how all that synchronized to your body, the hippocampus, everything, off the rip, to show you what this science is really talking about. When I say A, you say what, Empress?
Oh, no, no. Shit on you.
But when I say AC, I be talking about Moors when they say they adapt chamber. Adapt chambers are members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. When I talk about the third heaven, That's why when I be saying things and Moors be saying they adepts, I be like, oh man. I'm like, so when I talk about the triple roll of the adapt chamber and these Moors be talking about they Moors, I mean, they adepts and they got some regalia they done got from the fraternal store and I really have no science and no holy tablets. And when I start talking about the third heaven, when I really get deep in the synchronicity, they don't know what the hell I be talking about. And I'll just shake your hand and leave. No way possible. No way possible, man. You can say you an adept and you don't know about the third heaven and you don't come and be like, yeah, let me humble myself because this brother coming with the real science. We won't do that to each other. That's the sad part. Who were Adam and Eve? They are the mothers and fathers of the human family, the Asiatics and the Muslims. Where did they go? They went into Asia. What is the modern name given to the children? Asiatics. Who was guarding the holy city of Mecca to keep the unbelievers away? Those angels. If we're just going to tell a story, Morris, let's tell it. What is the modern name of the angels? Asiatics. What is the shade of their skin? Olive. Are the Moorish Americans any relation to the angels? Yes. We all have the same father and mother. If you're going to tell a story, give 5 names that are given to the descendants of Adam and Eve: Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and the beast. What is the devil sometimes called? The lower self. How many cells are there? 2, higher and lower. What people represent the higher self? The angels who protect the holy city of Mecca. What people represent the lower self? Those who were cast out of the holy city and those who accept their teachings. You see? So I'm just on 60, man. I want to proceed, but I'm just going through the 101s. We should know this. Nobles, go on my YouTube page, please. My YouTube page. YouTube page, please, because we want to get that algorithm up on my YouTube page. Please go to my YouTube page. Please. Can the higher self pass away? Absolutely not. Why? Because it is Allah and man. And if Allah and man, Allah never die, energy transfers. What does the lower self breed? See, the lower self breed hatred, slander, lewdness, murder, theft, everything that harms, lies, false teaching, pseudo-academia, a Negro, black, and color, or a misnomer Latino or Mexican. The first thing that comes in their mouth is say they're not a Moorish American. That's sad. What is the answer that the lower self gave to the higher self? I'm going to and fro the earth seeking who I may devour. With what? Lies and false teachings. He has finished the task of devouring? Yes. When was this time declared out? When he nailed Yahshua on the cross. What are the last words Jesus uttered? It is finished. If this is their story, let's tell a story. What did he have reference to? He had reference to the end of Satan. Did Yahshua say that he would return to conquer him? Yeah. What is the name of the person into whom Yahshua was first reincarnated? Prophet Muhammad, the conqueror. Right, Morris? I mean, y'all got to read the stories. The imam's not telling y'all. What did I read earlier in my book bag in the Nation of Islam paper? What they said. That Fard Muhammad since 1930 is the Messiah for the Christians, the Mahidas, and the Muslims since 1930. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? I read Act 1 what the Muslim believe, that they believe in the truth of the Bible. I mean, are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Please listen to what I'm saying, Moors. Y'all got to listen. I synchronize all them teachings. They're not telling you it all. That's why I said your own brother will lie to you. Don't talk about no European. A European don't hate you. Because when you really see it, you are a European. If we're going to get really, really into the subject matter of the things. What is the name of the person into whom Jesus was first reincarnated? Prophet Muhammad, the conqueror. Ask your imam. Ask your imam. Ask your imam who have the holy books behind, they read them behind. Ask me who have the caliphs and the hadith, what I'm talking about. Was Satan to be bound then? Satan was to be bound in part. When was the head of Satan took off? In 1453 Byzantine. By whom? By Muhammad II. Name some of the marks that were put on Moors of the Northwest by the beast, Satan, in 1774. These marks were Negro, black, colored, Ethiopian. In reality, what is a Negro? A Negro is a four-legged animal. What is it meant by the word black? Black, according to science, mean deaf. Black, according to science and law, mean deaf. Don't get me with that black is beautiful stuff. Damn it, green, orange, purple, gray is beautiful too. But I ain't your nationality. So don't get me with that old James Brown shit. Oh, excuse my language. My fault, Empress. What does the word colored mean? Colored means anything that has been painted, stained, varnished, or dyed. What does Ethiopia mean? Ethiopia means something divided. When I tell you they was Abyssinians, I can show you the whole Abyssinian text when you can research in the Library of Congress what the Abyssinians look like. Man, they have fezzes and turbans. They look like you and me, man. Point blank. That ain't even a word. What does Ethiopia mean? Ethiopia means something divided. Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? Absolutely not. Why? Because man is made in the image and the likeness of God, Allah, right? Ain't that what they say? If we're gonna tell a story. So watch this. So if man made was in the image of Allah or God, right, Empress?
Right.
So if the text say that, so what they saying? They saying your ass ain't a man. They saying you ain't a man. They saying you an animal. And they putting you in the category of a four-legged beast. Are y'all listening to the science that I'm delivering to y'all? Y'all should be saying Islam. Y'all should be saying Islam right now. Are y'all seeing the teachings what I'm trying to display and the science that I'm trying to deliver to us Moors to bring us out that shallow grave of mental slavery and be ourselves and take our rightful place back in royalty, mentally, physically, spiritually, religiously, scientifically? Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Can a man be a Negro, black, colored, or Ethiopian? Absolutely not. Why? See, this is the stuff that you should be saying, and you should be snapping on people like, man, that what you saying is garbage. Because we can't be none of that. Why? Because man is made in the image and after the likeness of God, Allah. So if you ain't made in the image and the likeness of God, Allah, what are you? You are an animal. You are a four-legged beast. Are y'all seeing the science that I'm delivering to y'all when you follow somebody's religious dogma? Huh, Morris? Somebody talk to me, Morris. Somebody talk to me. Come on, man. We don't see this. Y'all don't see this clearly? Morris, y'all don't see this clearly. We're not being logical. Or we just gonna operate on belief system. Somebody talk to me. Because your belief can be based on a lie. Man, come on, man. Y'all gotta talk to me, Morris. What are we doing? What does the title? That's right. What does the title Satan gives himself? God. Will you define the word white? This is the science. This ain't me. This man. If the great God Allah and if science and if the academia didn't want us to know linguistics and etymology, well, damn it, the great God Allah wouldn't have made dictionaries and things so we can research this. So this ain't nothing disrespectful or racist. Man, this is science. This is academia, right? So let's finish academia. And let's stay in the proper context. In the proper context, when we define white, white means purity. Purity means God, and God means the ruler of the land. To whom do we refer to at times as being the great God? Allah. Is the devil made in the image and likeness of Allah? Absolutely not. Who made the devil? Elohim. Think about this. Islam, Noble, thank you. Who is Elohim? Remember I was just telling y'all, Empress, can you get my ID on my text over there, Empress? And I think they might be on my thing with Aya Asha Aya on the front covers. This is what I'm telling y'all they how to hide when I talk about Elohim and the seven serpents. I think my Aya Asha Aya books, my metaphysical books, them two, my old books. I know I got you working, baby. I just want to demonstrate when I tell y'all people behind stuff.
In here?
Yep. And my one chart. That got the body of man and everything when it says Elohim made in the image, man made in the image of Elohim.
This book is in a spiral?
No, it got the Manchurian, it got the man on the front like this.
Oh.
My two old ones, volume 1, 2, and 3 and 4. But who is Elohim? Elohim is the seven creative spirits that created everything that ever was, is, and evermore to be. They might be in that one over there, babe. It might, because they'd probably just be the two sitting. Or you know what? I think they right here in this glass on the side. What is Elohim? I think they right there in that glass, right here on the end, Empress. On the top. Are they up there on the top? What is Elohim sometime called? The seven eyes of Allah. The seven eyes of Allah. Yeah, there you go, Empress. Oh yeah, look at my baby. How many days are in the circle? 7 days. So. I told you I have fun with the teachers, especially when we approve somebody that be coming with that garbage. And I can show you how man was made in the image of Elohim. I know a lot of people don't know what they're looking at, but that's okay. My chart, just that chart, the Ayah Asher Ayah with the man when it says man made in the image of Elohim. I'll show y'all all this, man. So nobody and this volume 3 and 4, this volume 1 and 2, 3 and 4. When I synchronize the science. When I say man must know all the Gnostic texts. And when I break the science down, man, it's no bias. I told y'all, I bring my own chair and table, you know? They ain't gonna tell y'all the science. They ain't gonna tell y'all what this is all about. They ain't gonna tell y'all it's your body, it's you. They ain't gonna tell y'all the truth of what's above is below. And everything in the astrological sign is in your temple. I've been breaking this stuff down forever, y'all. I'm telling you. With them 7 candlesticks, all this stuff represents your body. I break this down. This is what I grew up in. My mother and father have doctorals in divinity. This is what I grew up in, teaching science. We used to laugh like, man, y'all don't know what we talking about? We know what the true essence of more science is. That's understanding that God and man is one, that Elohim and man is one. That's all this is. The rest is law, international, local, state, and federal. This is the synchronicity. I'm trying to tell you, and then I'll go ask your sheikh, am I lying? Go ask your sheikh, go tell your sheikh, hey, Noble said Ayah Asher Ayah. Come on my YouTube page, Morris. Come on my YouTube page, Noble. Go ask your sheikh, say, one of the nobles said Ayah Asher Ayah. We said, I will be what I will to be. What does that mean? What does that mean when the noble say Ayah Asher Ayah? What's that? That it right there, my love? Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, y'all. That's it, Empress. Y'all see that right there? Man made in the image of Elohim by the pattern of the tabernacle. What pattern of the tabernacle y'all think I'm talking about? What pattern of the tabernacle? Let me read this one more time, Empress. Man made in the image of Elohim by the pattern of the tabernacle. Y'all talk about those pillars where y'all get a science to the Europeans. What y'all talk about? The pillars, the bone structure of a man represents what? The symbology is what? It represents the pillars and the bars and the boards in the tabernacle. All the curtains of Kedar, all that represents the veins. We get into these third heavens, which I'll be telling y'all, our prophet just giving y'all science, but y'all not connecting God and man as one. It's the same thing. You missing the language. So when I talk about the third heaven, I'm talking about the most holy place. Y'all see that eye? We're going to talk about the Ajani. We're going to talk about today. We see the first holy place, that veil. You see those 7 candlesticks is what it's representing and a quarter roundabout. I hope y'all know what I'm talking about. But then we get right here to the other, man made by the pattern, the most holy place. You see that, the brain, the holy place, everything inside that chamber and a quarter roundabout, the gut. Y'all see those things? What y'all think that is? Everything that I show y'all, the hippocampus, all that stuff synchronized into the physical body. Are y'all listening to what I'm saying? Don't let nobody lie to y'all. Thank you, Empress. Thank you for that demonstration. You get a lot of kisses today. Thank you, Empress. Are y'all following what I'm saying, Morris? So I just gave y'all almost all the 101s, but we should know that. So let's proceed with the teachings. So I'm gonna give more history. Y'all know who this brother is? Research Hubert Henry Harris. This a scholar I want y'all to look up. I told y'all I'm gonna start breaking out so many scholars in history. You be like, who is Hubert Henry Harris? Most Negroes don't even know who this brother is. They call this brother the Black Socrates. I'm trying to tell you. They call this brother the Black Socrates. I'm gonna start pulling just so much stuff out of history. Be like, man, we had all these figures and all these scholars. Yes, we did. You didn't know that? You only knew Martin Luther King, huh? Malcolm X, Harriet Tubman. That's all we knew. Why? Because that's all they gave us. I'm telling you. And then they studied you to a T and locked all your scholars up in the library. How I know? Because I've been in them all. And I got the same books that they study from, point blank. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet, y'all. I promise you that. I don't even want to get all into his words because he used to snap. Let me give y'all a quote what he said. He said, another favorite hymn among black Christians is, you can have all the world, but just give me Jesus. Harris argued that he would rather remain black and go to hell. After all, the devil and all his imps are black, and he would feel at home amongst black people. There wouldn't be a heat problem, but in due time, one would get used to it and perhaps enjoy it. So what he's saying is, if you understand the science, what he's saying is everything is white. If Jesus and all them white, why the hell I need to be around that? I might as well go to hell because everybody in hell look like me. You see what I'm saying, y'all? That's the psyche that says that he ain't dissing Jesus. And I tell people, a person, we're not thinking because we use our lower self. But the science he's saying, well, damn it, if y'all gonna tell me this story that Jesus and all his prophets is a European, I'd rather go to hell. Why? Because everybody in hell look like me. Everybody in heaven don't look like me. Hell. The hell you talking about? Now watch this. When I started showing y'all history, you see this brother? Islam. Thank you. When y'all see this brother right here, when I show y'all how we are the original Jews, watch, I'm going to give y'all some history, and I'm just going to walk through science. This right here, when I say the European tell you everything who you were in history. Y'all see this brother right here, right? Olada Equina, right? Y'all see this brother right here, right? Now watch me synchronize this science. When I say the true Jew is the Igbo and the Igbo. So you don't get caught up in nobody tripping. Watch this. Y'all see this brother right here, right? Keep his name in your head. Now watch me drop some science. Igbo, Hebrew. Watch me give y'all some science. I got to jump through it because I'm demonstrating. Everything that I have, Moors can get it for a donation. Excuse me. What Israelites and others say about the Igbo, we know since, excuse me, that's right. But did she tell you, but did she start elevate, but did she get the science out the book when she read it in college? If your daughter needs to check this out, what I'm about to break down, because there's some science in the book. When you see the science, you can debunk the Eurocentric propaganda that the European trying to say that they the original Jew. And I'm going to synchronize it. Because the real Jew is the Igbo and the Igbo genetically. That's the science. And this brother was, they enslaved God's people. And then he ended up getting free. I'm telling you, man. See, this is the meat and potatoes of it. So let's dig with it. So we know since at least 1789 AD. Oh, you said she ain't had no clue? Well, she need to be looking at, you need to send her to this, Noble. She ain't had no clue. Check this out. We know since at least 1789 AD that Jews have been interested in the possible Igbo-Israel connection. When a former Igbo slave, this brother right here, named who? Olada Equina. This brother right here, living in London, first proposed the Igbo-Israelite relationship in his autobiography. Anglican missionary G.T. Baston, the first to minister to the Igbo, wrote many books which claimed and connected the Igbos to the tribes of Israel. Several editors of the Encyclopedia Britannica in 1929 connected the Igbo people to Gad. Remember I keep telling y'all the people of Gad and Seir? A Torah commentary on Shemot in 1922 made the Igbo-Gad connection also, Moors. Some Igbos, including Dr. Akifdi, recalls Israelis visiting Igbo land and investigating such claims during the Biafran War, the Biafran War, under the direction of the Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin in October of 1995 and in May 1997 under Benjamin Netanyahu. Israel government sent delegates looking for a long-lost brother, a long lost brother, Eri, E-R-I. They went to Nigeria, state to state, town to town, tribe to tribe, quite observe to see if any recognized Hebraic traits or customs would one pop out. And when they made it to Abu Ghad, their search ended as they saw Igbo, their displayed Hebraicness in their culture. Are y'all listening to me? They even saw the ancient stone throne of Gad and immediately recognized the scripture at the foot of the throne as Paleo-Hebrew. They also visited many sites that have been connected to Eri and the Igbo people. This was documented on film and later shown on Israeli television. On March 28, 1966, Israeli ambassador to Nigeria visited Nari and cried, acknowledging that the Igbos was among the lost tribes of Israel. Are y'all hearing me? That's right. They just made it up. I keep telling y'all, we got to do linguistics. A lot of Moors are lost in mistranslation. And until we really and willing to really learn and educate ourselves from scholarship and start synchronizing instead of just babbling off at the mouth, that's our problem, because we need to be educated. And this educated must be broadcasted to the masses. On March 28, 1966, Israel ambassador to Nigeria visited Nairi and cried, acknowledging that the Igbos was amongst the lost tribe of Israel. Before he left, he gave Izzy Nairi a gift of olives and oil, stating that such gifts were only given to kings of Israel. On October 23, 1977, Yipzad David, an American Jew, because it's American Jews, that's okay. How? Why they Jews? Because they believe in Judaism. But it ain't nothing ancient. It's okay they believe in the teachings. That's okay. That's how people be converted. But Jews and program director of King Solomon, Sephardic Federation, Sephardic. There you go. They telling you who they are. Federation was televised visiting the king in Nui, also a king I have personally visited myself. Iwi Kenneth Ori II. But let me get more deep in his teachings, y'all, what I'm trying to say. They interpret their name, Igbo, I-B-O, as a mispronunciation, Hebrew. Until today, the members pray to Chukwu Abiyama, C-H-U-K-W-U, A-B-I-A-M-A, Abraham's God. Are y'all listening to me? God, the Igbos, well known for their struggle of independence in the Biafra War, are now considered the Jews of Nigeria and have contributed greatly to the intellectual and economic development in that country. Outreach to Nigerian Jews by the wider Jewish world community gained official status from 1955 to 1997. You damn right. When Israel Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin sent a team to Nigeria in search of the 10 lost tribes of Israel, Western rabbis and educators such as Rabbi Goren visited the community at times, and the Jewish communities in the West support those in Nigeria by sending books. All is, you know. So let's get to the evidence of this brother right here. Oh, I feel good when I be teaching. What you say, Empress? See, when we remove the veil of this religious dogma and these Negroes make believe history when they call themselves scholars, watch this. I keep telling y'all, Moors, I keep telling y'all, we were all over the globe. You got to stop letting somebody tell you who they are. When especially, I just be waiting for a person to show their hand. Don't you know when you can beat somebody? I'm like a greyhound. And I'm running to get some people that, hey man, I ain't got to show my hand. I'm gonna let you show your hand. I'm gonna let you get close at the finish line. And here I come, you're gonna be like, damn. Because I know your plot. I know your scheme. I keep telling y'all, we were all over the four corners of this globe. And y'all getting caught up in analogies. And I can prove this all over the globe. Everyone has Moorish blood in their veins. If the Moors ruled Spain for 800 years, are y'all tripping? That should instantly remove all doubt in your hippocampus. But look, watch this. Cultural evidence linking the Igbo to Gad. In 1789, Olida Equana, an Igbo and former slave who lived in London, said in his autobiography that the Igbos were one of the lost tribes of Israel, and cited that in many identical cultures, similarities between them and the Jews. When the missionaries, what y'all think missionaries are? Colonists, came to Nigeria to evangelize, to slave. I'll show y'all in the biblical scriptures when they tell a story different. When Paul on the road to Damascus, to Asia, he was going to colonize. Where we tell you he was going? Asia, which was Africa. What he was trying to do? Say that we was praying to some pagan. And I show you, we already had our Artemis. And I can show you in the museums how they tried to take the statue Artemis from the Asiatic woman and make it white, European. No disrespect to nobody. Research it. Let's finish. So when the missionaries came to Nigeria to evangelize, they were dumbfounded to discover that the Igbo people practiced many Hebraic Jewish customs, which they could not have learned from anyone else. It had to come from the ancient practice of their people from antiquity, for they had no Bibles. Are y'all listening to me? Do you hear what I said, Empress? They had no Bibles and met no one with a Bible until the colonists came along. They found that the Igbos practiced eating of animals that met the biblically clean requirements, as well as complete draining of blood from the animals, as well as other laws concerning kashrut, which is kosher animals. See, that's why I be telling y'all, most Negroes, when I say we don't like to be in order, because we want to be rogue Moors. And I promise y'all, because it's getting ready to get real, next year, all the Moors that's not part of a real body, they will be lost in the sauce. I promise you. Because they're not going to be a part of nothing. And what man don't want to be a part of nothing? What man don't want a family? That don't even make sense. That's why I know Moore's motive, and I know Moore's plight, and I know who's going to fall off. I know what Moors don't want to build, and this be here all over the place. We see them. They say they go to and they say they study at home. And I'll tell you right now, I'll break simple science down. And the average Negro that wears fez does not know any science. No disrespect to no one. How I know? Because why would Moors be talking about it really ain't no trust put up for Moors? It really ain't the 10 number ain't no pot of gold at the rainbow? Hell no. That's an affidavit. That's how I know Moors are confused. And the average Negro that wears fez, that's wearing the fez and not studying the science. And they definitely don't have the teachers of the prophet. They just arguing over, I have no idea. They also had a concept of clean and unclean, acceptable and abominable, or certain things that was defamatory to the body. Animal sacrifice, like unto the Levitical sacrifice systems. Beliefs in a supreme, all-powerful deity, the Chukwu, above all other deities. Circumcision on the 8th day, as well as had naming ceremony of the 8th day old child, giving names that bear the name or title of God within it. Yeah, I mean, it's there. That's why I said it's our preacher's fault. It ain't no European fault. The preacher noticed your science. I told y'all, wait till this thing clear up and I get my professor that's a potentate and he's gonna tell you all the science is ours. Just like I used to wear the fez every day. I called him and talked about, I showed him the brother that was talking about the fez was from Turkey and it was a taboo. He said he was spitting his coffee out as I spoke to him. He said, what? He was like, oh, I almost called it Negro. Brother Bay, I said, you can call it because I call it Negro too. You know? He was like, that don't even make sense. He said, you got the documents? He said, where you think we got the fez from? He said, we didn't go to no damn Turkey and get the fez. He said, we went to Egypt. He said, we went to Egypt. And that's how we got the 32 and 33 degrees. That's why we only 32 and 33 degrees, because our fez is pinned down, Brother Noble. We didn't have the 99 because we weren't able to interpret the metanetter. That's why our tassel is pinned down. That's why we symbolize it. He said, come on, it's not Turkish. He said, well, you got the documents. The real Turk is the Moor. He was like, you got the documents, you a scholar. You show it to him. I done put this on my page many a times. So, you know? The coronation of the kings have rituals and customs that closely remember that of the coronation of the king of Judah and Israel. These, among many other Jews' laws and customs, were found to be kept by the Igbo people. And sadly, the Christians, missionaries, forced them to abandon many of the Hebraic practices because through they resemble biblical worship of God. I keep telling y'all we the people of the book, and the Aboriginal man, and you're going to keep letting people get you with their minuscule scholarship. And I'm like, man, my. They believe many have been done away with due to the advent of the Messiah, and they believe they practice these customs unto pagan gods. Remember I just told y'all the story of Paul going on the road to Damascus to strip you from your culture when they talk about you with praying to pagans? You see that? The Igbos are slowly beginning to return to the pre-missionary practices, desiring to return to their Hebraic roots. One Igbo man named Abraham, Avraham, a cantor of the Nestari Jewish community in Nigeria said, and I quote, "In a nutshell, every law as stated in the Torah was being practiced by our forefathers before the advent of Christianity, except that of our fathers went into idol worship, but they still kept the tradition as was handed over to them by their forefathers." Are y'all listening to this science, man? Archaeological evidence, Paleo-Hebrew scripts have been found in various places in the Igbo territories of Nigeria. Drawings like unto the Mogan David, the Star of David, have been found in various places of Igbo land prior to missionaries' arrival to Nigeria Moors. There is a stone at Abu Ghad, which confirmed Paleo, ancient Hebrew inscriptions at the foot of the throne that indicates that the throne was constructed in honor of Gad. There was also an ox stone found in Igbo land with the Paleo-Hebrew word Gad on it. In 1917, the British discovered about 500 feet below the soil of the palace grounds a solid brown Star of David, indicated the Igbo people may have migrated from an ancient city of David. To commemorate this event, Moors, Nigerian Kobo coins were minted with the Star of David on it. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all ain't listening. Even the Igbo dress, the traditional Igbo way of dress, is more Hebraically authentic than the Orthodox Jews in the West who adopted their dress from the 17th and the 18th century Europe. Are y'all following me, y'all? Remy Iona, in his book, The Igbos, Jews in Africa, page 73, tells us that the Igbos have always worn a tallit-like garment and have always worn caps, and that Igbo women, unlike those of other tribes, have always been very modest and covered themselves, specifically their chests, with their wrap. Y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't listening to me. When Okunwa came to his motherland in exile, he was welcome. 7 years later, he departed, and the elders blessed him when they broke Kola. We read from Genesis on to the day that in Judaism, children and relatives are blessed when they leave a community and strike out on their own. Likewise, if someone is in exile, they go to their mother's people, as Jacob went to Laban, his mother's brother, when running from his brother Esau. Go to my YouTube page, Noble. There is also a film adaptation to Things Fall Apart, as we see young men and women and children bow in respect to their elders when greeting them, especially when Okanoa brought his family before his uncle. We see in scripture, Moors, that Moses bowed before the Jethro, his father-in-law, Exodus 18:7. Jacob and his children bowed before his elder brother Esau, Genesis 33:7. And Joseph bowed before Jacob, his father, Genesis 48:12. This is the most definitely an ancient Hebraic custom we've seen demonstrated in the Igbo culture. Are we clear? Okawana, for accidentally homicide, was exiled for 7 years in his mother's homeland, which is similar to, as we have previously mentioned, Jacob running to Laban, his mother's people. And we see this as a similar concept. The cities of refuge, research Numbers 35. Come on, man, come on, man, it's just what it is. Watch this, Hebrew names titled to God. Yahweh, Yah, Elohim, El, Igbo, names title of God, Chi, Chukwo, Chinik. Elihu is Elijah, Yah is my God, Chidi, Chiwudu equals there is a God. God exists. Yeshua, Joshua equals Jehovah. Igbo, Chidama, God is good. Shemuel, Samuel, God hears. Chibuiz, God is king. Ariel, lion, Ariel equals lion of God. Chukwukmika, God has done great things. See, this as well as many words which are still in Igbo language can be traced back to the Hebrew language. I'm synchronizing this, Moors. Historical parallels. Watch this. Jews underwent the infamous persecution of the Jews during many pogroms and holocausts of World War II. Igbos underwent a type of holocaust during the Nigerian Biafran War in the 6th of July, 1967, and the 15th of January, 1970, where many Igbos were slaughtered by the surrounding peoples of Nigeria. Man, we can go on and on with this science, man. So, how y'all feel? Because even a European, now I'm gonna talk about this masonry. Watch this. See that? Y'all see that? Signs and symbols of the primordial man. This Albert Churchward. Albert Churchward testified to everything I'm about to tell you. I'm just gonna give you an introduction. You can't deny science, man. Dr. Albert Churchward was the best known British disciple of Gerald Massey, whose 6-volume works, Ancient Egyptians, The Light of the World, A Book of the Beginnings, Nature Genesis, volumes, all those sets, these Europeans. So that's why I be laughing at Negroes. I know most Negroes that's European Masons. I know most of them. They can't tell me. How I know? I keep telling y'all. You can't hide nothing when a person lie. I know most Masons that portray their Moors on the internet. They won't wear their fez in real life. It's okay. Because I love you. But you can't sit up here and lie, and you can't serve no two masters in secret. Because especially if you say you are more, you tripping. But it is what it is. But what is the central message of Albert Churchward today in an era of new scholarship, new and bold challenges to an old concept? My YouTube page, Noble, go to my YouTube page because I'm about to cut everything off. IG, go to my YouTube page. About the history of the world and the contribution of African people toward the origin and civilization of the world, civilization and culture. Albert Churchward begins his work with an examination of Freemasonry. See, I removed all the veils of the religious dogma, just like our prophet did when I said, how can a man say he's a Moor and adapt and love his brothers and then pray to masonry, a European westernized masonry behind closed doors? That don't even make sense. But we know who they are. But his work with an examination of Freemasonry, its rituals, signs, and symbols, and their contribution to social thought. What he's saying, in essence, is that Freemasonry was a part of the Nile civilization. By the extension, he is also saying that higher learning, which was carefully guarded at early times in history, gave birth to secret societies. In these secret societies, there existed the educational approach that will lead to the establishment of the world's first universities. Where? In Salamanca in Spain. Who created the first universities? The Moorish master Comedidans. I hope y'all know this. What he's saying, in fact, is that the origin of the universities comes out of the Nile Valley civilization. African people developed signs and symbols as a way of communication and delivering messages. It is most unfortunate that most people who today are members of these so-called secret societies, I call them westernized Negro Masons, have no in-depth knowledge of the history of the society and the unifying role it played in the early intellectual life of the Nile Valley. Especially when Negroes know they Masons, and I ask them who Haram Mabif is, and they have no clue. And I say, that's you in that shallow grave. And you got a pen on, talk about in memory Haram Mabif, and all that, and all the tomb and the mantle was used to bury you in a shallow grave, and you don't know that science? It is through Churchward's examination of most of the known cultures of people of this day that the sign, the symbol of the primordial man is revealed. At this juncture, we need to be reminded that the Nile Valley stretched over 4,000 miles into the body of Africa, and that the creation of the Nile Valley civilization cannot be attributed only to the portion of North Africa that the Greeks called Egypt. The Nile River was the world's first great culture highway. No. I'm telling you, I showed y'all demonstrate that. Remember, man, things have duality. Just like in our chakras, the so-called Star of David is your heart chakra, right? I told you, signs and symbols mean different things. That's why I say words have duality. And if we understand the science and the context, we can figure it out. That's where I'll be trying to tell Moors. This is a science, my noble. But was the world's first great cultural highway, bringing people and cultures out of the body of inner Africa. This great cultural migration led to the peopling of Egypt, making Egypt a composite civilization, comprised of different African people who dwell along the banks of the Nile River. The civilization that developed in Egypt was the culturalization of the civilization in Africa. How y'all think people got on the roads and traveled on the highways and byways? I mean, that's what I'd be like, man, we letting people just, well, we follow people that say they're scholars. And I'm just showing y'all how we was all over the world. None of the components that went into the makings of what we now call Egypt came from Europe or West Asia, commonly called the Middle East. And at this point in history, we cannot discuss Europe because there was no Europe in the name as a political entity in the world. Europe didn't exist. Remember now, we're talking about dispensation. This is the European telling you this. There was no mention of Europe in early ancient history because at that time, Europe was very busy trying to extract herself from the impact of the last of the very ice ages. Follow the context. Surviving and just staying alive was the most serious thing that the Europeans were engaged in at the time in early history or prehistory Moors. In connection with this science is also a need to examine the works of the greatest American disciple, Gerald Massey. Research the European Gerald Massey. I'm giving you science. Alvin Boyd Kuhn. Kuhn is best known for his books, Who is the King of Glory? It's a good book on early Christianity. Also, Shadow of the Third Century. Deals with the Conference of Nicaea and its aftermath, especially the opinion of an African theologian known in history as St. Augustine. This is what the European telling you. That's why I said, I get their pen and show you that they praise us. Let me say what I just said again. Shadow of the Third Century deals with the Conference of Nicaea and its aftermath, especially the opinion of an African theologian known in history as St. Augustine. In referring to European participation in the Conference of Nicaea, St. Augustine said, and I quote, in effect, these people are trying to revamp and give back to us a concept we had for over 3,000 years. St. Augustine, in identifying the early African origins of concept that the Europeans will later call Christianity, is indicating that this concept existed among African people without the dogma and formalization. Before the birth of Europe, in the introduction to Who is the King of Glory, Alvin Boyd Kuhn has this to say, and I quote, "The pick that struck the Rosetta Stone." I keep telling y'all, every Negro, black and colored, no disrespect to nobody, that's a European Mason, they ain't nothing but a snowman. Because 32 and 33 degrees ain't nothing but snowman wisdom. And in meteorology, that's when water freezes. That's snowman wisdom. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. I'm not coming from no biased wisdom. That's why I can't wait to this blowover and my professor, which is a pale European. He's like, whatever you want to call me. He's like, I'm just going to tell you what it is. And then when you hear him tell you what and he speak just like me, then what we gonna say then? But the pick that struck the Rosetta Stone in the loamy soil of the Nile Delta in 1796 also struck a mighty blow at historical Christianity. For it is released the voice of a long voiceless past to refute nearly every one of Christianity's historical claim with a withering negative. Y'all should have known this. Everybody be talking about this stone and reading all these scriptures. Well, y'all should have been debunked all this. Because the cryptic literature of the old Egyptian or old Egypt sealed in silence when Christianity took its rise, but haunted it like a scepter after the 3rd century now stalks forth like a living ghost out of the tomb to point its long finger of accusation at a faith that has long strived on false. That's a movie introduction. Did that sound like y'all want to go see that movie?
No.
Well, forget you. For that literature now rises out of oblivion to proclaim the true source of every doctrine of Christianity as Egyptian, the product and heritage of a remote past. The books of old Egypt now unroll the sagas of wisdom which announce the truth that not a single doctrine, a rite, a tenet, or usage in Christianity was a new contribution to world religion, but that every article and practice, that of the faith, was disfigured copy of ancient Egyptian systemism. He then goes on and say that the entire Christian Bible, the creation legend, the descent into a exodus from Egypt, the ark and the flood, the allegory, the Israelite history, the Hebrew prophecy and poetry, gospel, epistles, revelation, imagery, all are now proven to have been the transmissions of ancient Egyptian scrolls and papyri into the hands of later generations, which knew neither their true origins nor their fathomless meanings. But the sheer fact that even amid the murks of ignorance and superstition, the mere ghost shell, husk, and shadow of Egypt's wisdom inspired religious piety to extremes of faith and zealotry is singular of its original power and majesty. For the scroll of papyri, 5,000 to 10,000 years old, there comes stalking forth to view the whole story of an Egyptian Jesus raising from the dead, and an Egyptian Lazarus, and an Egyptian Bethany, with 2 Egyptian Marys present, the non-historical prototype of the indictment related only in Joseph's Gospel. In a collective way, Gerald Massey, the master, and his disciples, Albert Churchward and Alvin Boyd Kahn, have revealed the early African origins of the 3 major Western religions. When I be asking these sheiks, what's the triple roll of the adapt chamber? And they have no idea what I'm talking about. When I talk about the Paraclete, when I talk about the Fatimite and the Jerusalem Rite, they don't know what the heck I'm talking about. All of these concepts were developed before the Bible was written and before the figure in the history known as Jesus Christ was born. Alvin Boyd Kahn, in his book, The Lost Christianity, also needs to be read as an extensive of the views expressed in the above quoted works Moors. Also, Dr. Joseph Ben, John G. Jackson, and other modern scholars have reconsidered this information and prepared it for the use and understanding of students and teachers for our times. So what's the excuse? Get Dr. Ben's book, The African Origins of the Major Western Religions, and John G. Jackson's Man, God, and Civilization. And in conclusion, Moors, as they say in legal profession, I rest my case. Now prove me wrong. You can't. I rest my case. I rest my case. Let me show y'all some more science. The chosen people. When I connect this Israelite and this Moor, when I show y'all tripping. When brothers, we knew who we were. We were uniting Asia. These brothers, Wentworth Matthews, all these brothers. Let me show y'all something. And all you got to do is say Islam, Ashe, Shalom Aleichem, all this stuff you want to say, give it to me because I love ya. I love ya. Telling you, I love to teach. This man, I love to teach. That's where I went and got this education. If I can bring it back to y'all and be like, hey, we got to help this brother build this school, our temple. Look what them babies were studying. Look what them babies were studying, y'all. Look what our Asiatic Moor children were studying. And we're going to sit up here and play around and talk about and set trip on each other. We tripping. This is school. And they did this back then. And y'all telling me, all of us that talk about we winning and we got jobs, we can't do that? Go to my YouTube page, Noble. Go to my YouTube page. Noble. Go to my YouTube page. That's a service announcement. I'm going to get on my bullhorn. Go to my YouTube page, Nobles. Go to my YouTube page. I repeat, go to my YouTube page, Noble. Go to my YouTube page. But you see what these babies doing? You see what they studying? School. Watch this though. I'm gonna keep showing y'all more. This been our science. This been our science. This been our science. When I got my dual master's degree, I had my stole on, and this European lady, she was so nice and sweet. She was like, "Oh, I didn't know you knew who you were." She like, "Yeah, you know the white Jews, the Ashkenazi, they took your science." She said, "But I see you in here in academia, taking your rightful place in academia." European lady, when I had my stole on, she was just staring at me the whole time. Because it's hotter than panther piss out here in Arizona. And we graduated. When was my graduation, babe? It was almost in the summer, wasn't it? But it was hot as heck. No way I could have worn my fez. Chocolate would have been all over the place. But I wore my kufi and I wore my stole and my regalia. But let me finish showing y'all this science. I'm gonna show y'all some more pictures. Watch this. Look at the brother. Look at the brother with the turban on. Look at the brother with the turban on. Look at the brother with the turban on. But then I'm going to show you a picture in history going to blow your mind. When I say people be posting pictures, but they don't be seeing the symbology in the pictures. Because how I know? Because ain't nobody never talked about what I'm going to show y'all the next picture. They posted a picture, but they ain't show you the science in the picture. When I show y'all this next science, y'all should be like, Islam, Islam. Why nobody ain't show that? Watch what I show y'all. But let me read this caption. Rabbi Ford in the turban. Listen to the science. Turbans were commonly used in black spiritual churches and signified the mystical East. And signified the mystical East when used by black religious magical workers. Huh? Filled in 1927. And y'all talk about some old time religion. We knew who we were. Them brothers were correct in that teaching. These were the magical workers of the East. Huh? We got to take all the churches was ours. That's what I'm telling y'all. We taught that science. We taught that synchronicity, especially adepts and scholars like myself and others. We was like, y'all playing. This is the United of Asia. Like, stop set tripping, y'all. Like, come together. Here go Rabbi Ford and the BBA choir in front of the BBA storefront in Harlem. Here go they BBA storefront in Harlem. Here go these brothers back then. This is in 1925. Rabbi Ford and the BBA choir in front of the BBA storefront in Harlem. June 30th, 1925. Look at these brothers and sisters. And you telling me we can't model this, what they did? I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm already organized. We can do this. We can have this in one calendar year, Morris. Help me. Look what the people lying to y'all. They don't want us to come together. Look at this synchronicity. This is what the United of Asia. Now watch this. This is the picture I want to show y'all. And I'm going to show you the science of this picture. Let me read the caption for you. Then I'm going to show you the flags in the back. And I'm going to break the year down. And then I want you to start thinking in your hippocampus. An aha moment should happen. Let me read the next picture. Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple. Or y'all thought y'all gonna let somebody take your science? I keep telling y'all, they take, every time they conquer you, they take your identity. Think about this science. If they dress up like you, if they're sons of Muslims, who the daddy? Ding, 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 ding. It should start, even in the Russian, when you see the Russians guards, and they had a big toppy on with the fur, when you start seeing the original, that was us, brother. They'll tell you. Conquest. Rabbi Mordecai Herman and the Moorish Zionist Temple of the Moorish Jews in 1920, Harlem, photographed by James Van Deer, Z. Now watch this. This is the caption. Y'all see what everybody like to think they call the Star of David? I say that's not no Star of David. You see that? Y'all see that in the back? Let me pull it back a little bit. Y'all see that in the back, right? Y'all see that in the back, right? Y'all see that in the back, right? Now watch. Now let me read their banner. And then, before I even read the banner, I hope Moors know what the next question. Let me even ask. Do y'all know what these writings even say under the so-called Star of David? The Hebrew letters? The first thing I ask Moors, they should read what the Hebrew letters mean first. And I guarantee you you don't know. It's too much symbology in this picture for you to miss all this science. It's too much symbology in this picture for Moors just to have been posting the pictures. And I'm finna break all this science down. So the first homework I want y'all to do is research what those Hebrew letters mean. That's the first point. The next point, I'm about to show you this flag in the back. Now remember I said 1920. This picture was taken in 1920. So let me show you something in the back. Look in the back of the picture behind the brother right here. Now, y'all see the so-called Israeli flag? Look at it, and an American flag. Now, you know Israel wasn't created into a state or a country, whatever the hell you want to call it, until 1940, 48. This is in 1920. You see what we have right here? Checkmate. That's checkmate. Y'all should be saying Islam. That's checkmate, man. That's checkmate. So who stole the science from who? Who took the history? Who took the signs and symbols from who? Research it. Israel wasn't created to a state until like 1940s. Point blank. What we have back there? What do you see? What do you see? What flag do you see right there? What flag do y'all see, man? What flag do y'all see? You ain't got to. It's there. It's there, man. It's there, Morris. It's there. So don't let nobody tell you who we are and who we not. It's there. I told you I was synchronized this. The Hebrew light, the more we brothers. Y'all letting people play y'all. Y'all letting people pray y'all. I said I don't diss Elohim. Where in our teachings do our prophet Noble Ali this that spirit, this Yahweh? Because I show you in our Moorish Quran, chapter 11, verse 43, when it says that this Hebrew God is the deity of Allah. And then I show you in our Silent Brotherhood of the East how Jesus, which is Yahshua, go through the mystery schools, go through the mystery set, go through all of the adapt chamber. Prove me wrong. You can't. You can't. You can't prove me wrong. You can't. You see that? And so you're going to let these brothers, with their religious perspective, to keep on keeping us separated. And I'm uniting us. This is the uniting of Asia. These are our teachings. What teachings? All teachings. That's what you mean. This is our teachings. They done came with that religious, that Negro black stuff, that European masonry, that black Muslim stuff, that black Israelite stuff, that black stuff, and got us messed up. And y'all know that's the truth. And y'all know I'm telling the truth. So don't get mad at me. They always get Negroes off the plan. Why? Throwing your ass a morsel. Come on, man. Y'all should have been done letting people play with y'all. And I ain't even got into, like I said, I ain't even got into the teachings, man. I'm gonna have to do that tomorrow because I'm tired. I gotta take a break. I am pooped. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, man. I get tired too. Shoot, because I say the same thing over and over. Like, hi, man. Tomorrow I'm gonna give civics again. And I'm gonna give this history that I was gonna give today. So I'm gonna give it tomorrow, civics again. I'm gonna break down that 13th and that 14th and that 15th amendment my last time, for this can be clear to you. I'm gonna give you the introduction that nobody can nationalize you. Nobody had the right to do that. I'm gonna give you the clear science. I'm gonna show you how the temple was set up. I'll show you all this. That 1010 number, it ain't no magical pot at the end of the rainbow. That's an affidavit. If any more keep telling y'all some 1010 number, some trust, man, y'all gotta stop letting people lie to y'all. You got to stop letting people lie to y'all. It ain't no damn pot at the rainbow. That 1010 number ain't no damn trust fund. It's not. It's an affidavit. And if anybody keep telling you anything different, you need to shut their lying ass down. I'm done, man. Islam, I love y'all. Become students and help me build this temple. Moors, please pay attention. I want everybody to come on my YouTube page. Come on, man. I keep saying it every time. I can't stop you from going on my IG page, but remember, I just don't like doing this on IG because it stops. So please, let's take this traffic to my YouTube page and let's share this message. And the Moors that want to be students, y'all can continue to do whatever you like. I'm not going to tell you not to do it on IG, but please help me build this temple. This more than just talking. Any questions? The floor is open. I asked some questions for a couple minutes. What is it? I said, we've been going for an hour and 37 minutes. I'll answer a couple questions. Let me use the restroom and I'll answer a couple questions and I'm done. What you say used to be a Hebrewite, so I understand what you're saying. I know, and you should, and I know brothers do, because I know their science. They'll argue from a religious perspective all day. Them Negroes argue to death. I'm drinking a big cup. I'm drinking a big cup. But yeah, Kari Ibn Hakeem Goodman Bey. But I know a lot of religious Negroes, no disrespect, that Hebrew Israelites that they argue all day from a religious perspective. And I say, man, I hear you. And I'm like, man, like you talking so loud, defending a religious perspective, you won't even listen. That's what religious Israelites do, and Muslims, all of them. I'm like, man, I'm not here to argue with you. But your religious belief, you so caught up in that religion, you missing history and law. So I understand what you're saying, Noble. Any more questions? Any more questions? Man, we could have been had this temple rocking and rolling. We could have been had this temple rocking and rolling, man. In one calendar year, like boom, here go our temple, our Noble. We got the library, we teaching. Any questions? Empress, can you give me some more libations? Oh, thank you, Isis. I'll answer a couple more questions. Please, Morris, don't come with no ignorant stuff, because if you do, I will block you for life. I'm just letting y'all know. I ain't here for no jokes or no plan or what I think about some religion. I don't think about nobody's religion. That's what I'm saying. What's my thought on this? I don't have no thought. Or what do I think about what somebody think? I ain't them. Ask them. They the one doing it. Don't ask me what I feel about somebody. I don't know. Ask them. Somebody asked me, what do I think about somebody? What do I say? Well, shit, you should go on their page and ask them, why are they doing what they doing? Thank you. Any questions? Any questions? More should have some questions, because the more hit me up today, talk about you telling me it ain't no trust for, set up for the Moors. Come on, man. Any questions? If not, we're going to be out of here, man. But I promise y'all, Moors, we can build this temple. We can teach our babies real scholarship. I'm organized. I have the same credentials as everybody else do. I don't know what you're talking about. I used to be a Hebrew Israelite, so I understand what you're saying. What you mean you believe it was 1942? I don't know what you're talking about, 1942. I don't know what that means. But anyway, we can build this, man. Any questions? Any questions? Like I tell Moors, man, I'm not here to debate nobody with somebody head over some old stuff. And I say, okay, well, I hear you. Everybody know more than somebody, but scholarship gonna trump all what a person think they know. And when it comes to the scholarship, I accept scholarship because I love scholarship. I accept scholarship, but you're not finna come to me with no garbage, what nobody said. How long would it take to build what? How long would it take to build what? How long would it take to build what? And then because sometimes we can answer our own questions. So how long would it take to build what? And watch, you'll be able to answer your own question. Watch this. How long would it take to build what? I'm gonna answer this real simple. Watch. How long would it take to build school? Now, this is the thing when I say we don't have to build a school. A school could be in the building. It's the curriculum. So we can have school in the tent, but we don't have to build nothing. The only way we're going to do anything is people have the finances, and then people volunteer their time, and then people do what our prophets say. We move around each other. That's the only way. How? Finances. It don't take long to do nothing. We don't need that's what people think we need, some big, extravagant, ridiculous stuff. And I say, man, all we need is our property and our land. I'm in Arizona, you know? See, here we go again. Listen, now, how may I properly declare and proclaim my nationality in proper action locally here in Florida? Come on, man. That's why I say Morris should be a student, because it ain't no quick way. I teach this, man. That's why I say with Morris, that's not an answer to answer right there, because the person prematurely will try to get you caught up. If you said that to another person, you will look like lamb chops in the wolf eyes, because their eyes be lit up like ding, 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 ding. I got me another one. And then they'll start telling you a whole bunch of crazy stuff and have you sending dollars in. I'm on IG too. We building right now. That's what I'm telling. That's what I keep telling us. We building right now. I told y'all I'm a real organization. It takes finances. If Moors was real transparent, I said it take bodies. It take bodies. I know how much stuff costs. I told y'all Moors. If we had 100 Moors giving $100 a month, that's 120 grand a year. Already been had to build it, and you can get a tax exempt receipt at the end of the year for donating to your religious contribution, just like if you was going to church. That's why I'm telling Moors right now. What you said, man. Is that a West African fez on the cover of the book? This right here? All of them are fezes. When I showed y'all, remember I showed y'all in the figure of the fez, the Benin? Remember I showed y'all the Benin? The pyramid, the tower? I told y'all everything is symbolic. Remember I showed y'all the Benin? Come on, man. But see, we building. Only reason why we don't trust because we look at other people that's been tricked by other people. Like more be looking at certain individuals, and I don't like to use their names, that collected money from people and said they was going to do something and build a school and haven't built it. I'm not talking about that. It don't take no millions and millions of dollars to do no school. If you want to teach some kids in your area, a youth in a certain demographic area, you can buy a building for some funds that's in the community, and the people that say they want to be a part of it, they volunteer and teach. You open for the community. How do you run it? Because you're a religious organization. How do you run it? Donations. And then after you get running a good way, you can ask for grants and things from the state. That's how the people of the community support it. That's how the laws protect you. And you get a tax exempt at the end of the year. Why? Because you are members of this. That's simple. That's simple. So when the person, so let me answer your question more because you asked the question. You ask a message, but it don't take no long how some build. If we want to talk figures and numbers, then a proper business language is to say, well, if it costs this amount of X amount of dollars to get the physical building. Now we can get a physical building. Ain't nobody ready to do nothing. So what we have done, we waste our money because people ain't ready to come together. That's why I said, if Morris was giving the money physically and understanding what we're doing, I could have been had a building. I could have been had the computers in there. I've been had the babies in there. Morris would be coming to the temples 5 days a week studying. So let's get back to what you was asking, Noble, because I will answer this the proper way. Number one, if you would have asked that question to a Morris scam artist, you would have looked like lamb chops in their eyes. Because they would have gave you some fake ID. They would have told you this mumbo jumbo crap. They would have told you to write some letter to the provost marshal. Then you would have prayed to Allah that you don't get audited. Then they would have made you some fake ID. They got the ID card machine from Amazon, and all that paper don't mean nothing. So let me correct it. The first thing you should do when I talk about history and law, first you must be educated on the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th Amendment. You must be educated on the 3/5 clause and the complete 5/5 clause. You must understand about proclaiming, declaring, and have due process. That's verbal. Number two, you're not changing nothing. What you're doing is you're correcting a misspelling or you're correcting a pronunciation. So what you're doing, you're adding your tribal name, your El or your Bay, annexing it to your birth name. That's why I said when our prophet talk about navigating, you have to know the proper verbiage to navigate. So when a person's saying civically, well, I hope in that arena of civics, you know how to use the proper verbiage. Just like in law, it's a legal term. Just like in business, it's a business term. I'll double talk over a person's head that don't educate it. And that's what the Europeans try to do. They call it linguistic apartheid, but they can't run that game on me. So the next question I'm telling you, number one, you must proclaim, declare, and have due process. That's number one. Number two, you must annex your Bay to your L to all your government ID. You must correct that, because if you're going to bring a person on charges, think about this. Why would you get rid of something and then where's your evidence? You ain't ever thought about that? That's why I be telling more. In law, you must prove your point, because in the court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law. Prove your point. That's why I just got done when I said, boom, I'll rest my case, because I gave all facts. And nobody should have no rebuttal. It ain't nothing to say. We don't have nothing, Your Honor. No, we don't have nothing. I know. So that's the process. And so then when a Moor lie to you, talk about some AA22 number, and they want to give you some ID and be happy because you can get a discount for a hamburger, that don't mean nothing. The AA22 number, truth of it, if the temples were set up right, we're supposed to have 30,000 Negro, blacks, and colored, misnomer Mexican and Latinos to sign a petition to proclaim, declare, and have due process and take it to the world courts. So before you get any reparations, you must restore yourself back to your original state. That's that. So until that happens, we must proclaim, declare, and have due process. Any other questions? I told y'all. Just like the church is established, and the people like, look at the churches, they doing this. Man, the churches are protected by the laws. We got the same laws to protect us. Those people that go to their churches, they believe what they're hearing. We can call them stupid or dumb, anything. They ain't that dumb because they supporting their organization. They ain't that dumb because they feeding the babies in the communities. There's no temples doing it. I'm telling y'all can help me. Just imagine we had the big temple out here, and you'd be like, well, our noble feed people in the community. His temple open up every day feeding the seniors. We here every day educating our babies while they out of school. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why the second president, Nasser, said the reason why Israel is cursed, because God's children left black and came back white. These ain't my words. He said it in the Time magazine. He said it live in the interview. Hitler told you the same thing in German. Don't get mad at me, y'all. Don't get mad at me. I'm just going to give you history. You can get mad at me, but the pen will reveal everything. And if you're a scholar, and especially if you're linguistic, you will start synchronizing everything. Like, whoa, wait a minute. The Bastard, and then Hitler showed who the Bastard is. And I said, yeah, because he's speaking in German. And a lot of people don't speak Sprechen die Deutsch. You know? A lot of people don't speak Sprechen die Deutsch. A lot of people won't research the interpretation of a word. They'll just read over it and be like, oh, look at the pictures. Ooh, picture pages. That ain't nothing. So any more questions? Any more questions, y'all? But we can build this temple, man. I told y'all. All you got to do is put a clean glass up to a dirty glass. And I'm transparent. I'm telling you, we can been had the temple. We can been doing this movement. And then Moors can be moving around each other. We can have our satellite school popping. It takes finances. And we can't be afraid to talk about finances, Moors. Look at all these mega churches and all this, and they operate off finances for the community. And we talk about them like they people crazy. They people not crazy. They supporting what they want to. They willingly do it. They willingly giving their money. That's why it's not a crime. So why we can't show them not only we giving our money, we believe in what we doing. That's all I'm saying. Any more questions, man? Come on, Moors. Any more questions? I got a little bit of libations left.
You going by libation?
No, I'm going by the time, babe. I'm going by the time. We got 9 minutes left. But I'm done talking. I'm tired, boss. Any questions, Moors? Come on, y'all. Keep them coming. Because we be having so many questions when it ain't time to answer questions. And I'm like, we confused. So any questions before I log off?
Some people that had it. I need to pull out my phone.
Any question before I log off, Morris? Help me build this temple, man. Don't fall for no charlatan trying to get you all caught up in lies and games. No questions, right? Please, people say no questions before I can log off. I'm waiting. Any questions? Thank you. Islam. I'm answering to my noble, no question. What's the next move for the Moors? For who? What's the next move for the Moors? For what Moors? First, because there's many Moors. When we say what move for the Moors, what Moors? We got, if we talk, let's talk, noble. What moving for what Moors? Because the first move we must do is be willing to be students and members of part of the community. And if those ain't willing to be members and part of this community, it's a lot of Moors. It can be a lot of Moors on the outside, and I love them all. I love all brothers, but that don't mean I do business with them. I'm comfortable going with my people and my brothers that be a part of my community, and I greet them walking past like Islam. I'll do that. So when we say what's next for the Moors, I mean who? No disrespect to nobody. So when a person make a statement, what's the next move for the Moors? My question is, who are we saying when it says what's the next movement for the Moors? What body of Moors are we talking about? What group of Moors are we talking about? And that's all I say when we be specific, because I want us to really, really think. Because a community and a body of a people, we agree to the same thing. We talk the same voice. We come together. We commune together. We give our finances. We understand what this temple is all about. The strong bear the infirmities of the weak. So if a person ain't talking about building a community, it's a lot of Moors. The aboriginal descents of the land. That's a lot noble. I understand your generality, but to me, that's basic questions. I don't know what's next for them. I don't know. I don't know what's next for the aboriginals of the land. And what we should know is we should be claiming. Well, I'll tell you what's next for the aboriginals of the land. We ain't aboriginals. We to claim our nationality. That's what we need to do. That's the only thing. And then next, build our communities. It ain't nothing else. It ain't no pot of gold out no rainbow. That's the thing. What? Proclaim, declare, have due process. Build our community through the laws. That's the only thing. And for brothers to use their own finances, just like churches, just like Jews, just like Amish, just like all them other organizations that's building. Just like all them that do their thing, but us. So I'm right here. That's what it takes. That's why I say y'all a nation in a nation. That's what the laws was. We were a nation of people, a nation of people. We had our nation. So when I tell brothers, when they say, the first thing they say is, I'm not a Moor. Well, you're not part of my nation because I'm a Moor. And everybody is not your brother. If they not, that's just like to say you and, hypothetically speaking, say 1,000 brothers came and built something. You and 1,000 Moors, y'all came together. Like I'm trying to say, you know what? We all gonna not spend our income tax money. We're gonna give $1,000 to start off, and we're gonna give $100 a month, and that's gonna be 120 grand a year. And then you got a brother come in, they see what y'all doing, and they waiting for y'all to get all blow up. And now that y'all done blew up, now they wanna come in and be like, yeah, man, I was with y'all all along. You check the books, you be like, man, go on with your garbage. You've been watching us, seeing us, and you ain't been putting nothing in the storehouse, and you think we supposed to take food off the table to feed you? Well, we got our own community here to feed up. And if we have something left over, we can give it to you. You can come to the teachers. You can come in and listen to the noble speak. But after a while, we're going to ask you like, hey, you don't want to be a part of this community? If you don't want to be a part of the community, we got to shake your hand and let you go on. We got to shake your hand and let you go on. Because this ain't what you want. You don't want to be part of no community. You see all these people here giving their blood, they sweat and they tears. You see these babies. You see family giving finances. And a person just want to sit on the side and say, well, I'm just going to come to the teachers and come to the teachers. Eventually, you're going to see everybody giving money and donations. My people going to check you like, wait a minute, what you trying to prove? Like, what is this about? You coming to the teachers, you don't want to be part of this community. Well, that's what this is all about. We are Moors. This ain't about, I just want to do this. I just want to do business with you. You can't do business with me. That's what I keep telling people. No, you can't. I don't need your money. I do business with other people in real life. But when I'm a Moor, I'm building my community. No, you can't do business with me. No, I'm building a community. That's what this is. We're building a community. We're building a school. I need Moors to come in. I need Moors to help us build the physical temple in Arizona and then help us build on our land on 40 acres so we can have our own log cabin or metal rail trailer car, something to go to. We can have our camps. We can have our horses. Something to go to. Something to go to. We could have been did this. It don't take long. Man, when y'all research metal rail cars and when y'all research log cabins and we all see how nice those are and we all see how we can put all those up on our acres and put our a pole barn with all our everything in it. Any more questions? We got 3 minutes and I'm done. We got 3 minutes. Okay, thank you.
My bedtime.
We got 3 minutes and I'm done. I mean, I got hats, fezzes. Every morning on here, I said, our prophet told us if we don't do anything, proclaim, declare, and have due process and wear your fez and your turban and proclaim, declare, and have due process. Every more should be getting fez from me. Even though right now it's slowed down because the mailing out here in Arizona and I'm trying to get the okay. All the new students, y'all books are here. Just be patient. But every Moor that say they're Moor, they should be having a fez. Why are you afraid to wear the fez? And I taught this, that the European tell you this fez is about you. The Daughters of American Revolution tell you that this fez is about you. The white fez with the gold tassel, they tell you this is about you. So why wouldn't y'all get a fez? Why wouldn't Moors at least be like, hey, at the least we can do is get the fez from our noble At the least we can do is become a student. At the least we can do, we can get all the Morris hats. Morris, see, I got all the Morris a la hats. I told Morris, $50 donation, and I send you 3 PDFs of my books. Man, that's a great deal. Any questions? We got 2 minutes left, y'all, because I'm about to smash. Like the babies used to say, I'm about to eat. Any questions, Morris? Help me build this nation, man. I got the blueprints already, man. We can be popping, have our temple in the city, and then start building on our land. And look at all the Morris that say they contractors. They know how to do all this and all that. Well, if that's the case, we can have this popping. I love y'all, Morris. Become members and students. Islam, 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 Islam. Truth, truth, truth over bull crap. Peace.